Space Miner checking in. So Osmium, we're in a brand new high. If you didn't see the thumbnail, why don't you back out of this and go take another look at that? We are cooking, y'all. We are cooking. And so, one of the things Space Miner wants to do for you is try to offer y'all an opportunity to get a hold of this stuff. Look, it's going through the window quick. It's going through the window quick. And so if you guys are interested, let me try to get you some going. We're just hanging out here by myself for now. Kind of wait for a couple people to roll in. No big deal, no big deal, right? All right, we got one thumbs up waiting on a viewer. Let me see what we got going on there. All messages. Oh, down. All right, who we got in here with us? Good morning, guys. Good morning. Osmium in a brand new high. Holy smoly. Crystal Osmium going through the roof, Jess. That's what's up. Crazy. I mean, dude, this stuff going crazy fast. Yeah, so Crystal Osmium, if you didn't see the thumbnail, go take a quick peek at that. Go look at my live list, and you'll see these thumbnails of the price of Crystal Osmium just going up and up and up and up and up and up. Man, and I am excited today because I'm just like, oh my goodness, it is so rare to see a chart just rocking. Like, I mean, just constant up. What is that about? So I'm stoked. That's all I could say is like, I'm stoked today. I'm like, it's working. This weekend, I'm going night rock hunting. Cool. You taking a UV light or anything with you? Who we got here? Super Cow. What are you doing? Oh, you changed your name up. Supernatural. I like it. I like it. So, I'm just hanging out, guys. So, Super, if you didn't know, I've been selling Crystal Osmium lately, investing and selling it off. Really not too happy about selling the stuff in a way, because every time I sell it, I can't afford to replace it. It's just going up so dango quick. And so I got on this morning, you know, because Osmium's at a new high, Crystal Osmium's at a new high, and I was thinking, you know, man, maybe I should get somebody else an opportunity to get in on this before the stuff's just gone. So Jess says, taking a UV light with you. What are you looking for? Do you know what you're expecting to find already? Do you know what you're hunting already? Or are you just going to go see what's there and what's out and about, Jess? Anything. I go with the same attitude. Like, you know, like agate. So for years, excuse me. So for years, I've been collecting agate. I mean, I've got piles of agate. And I didn't even know agate was like considered valuable or that anybody valued agate until one day I was in chat with somebody and they were showing off all this agate and everybody was like, woo, agate. And I'm like, serious? Like, I got tons of that stuff. And I just collected it because I thought it was pretty rock, you know, but turns out people got real sincere interest in agate, you know, so that was kind of a nice thing for me to discover. Like, hey, cool. Turns out it wasn't just pretty. You say you got one with a few. Let's see. Oh, this light is insane. There we go. All right. I have one with fossils all the way around it. So cool. Agate, Neil. Agate. Haggis. That's funny. Not a lot of people know about haggis. I used to eat that out in Pennsylvania. Never even heard of it around here. Scrapple? Yeah, that's another one unheard of out in the West is scrapple. Neil, you know scrapple. I know you know scrapple. Yeah, that's a dish. So, good morning, Neil. How you doing? So, Neil, did you go look at the price of Crystal Osmium today? Smackaroos, dude. Stoked. So, yeah, and I thought I should go online and raise a little bit of awareness today about what's going on. I mean, this is it's real. Yeah, scrapple's a pretty popular dish out in Pennsylvania. I've never seen it out west. You're waiting for a phone call from Gerald? Very cool. Tell Gerald I said hi. Yeah. Gerald's, for those that don't know, Gerald is working on a crypto coin that is with an osmium base. So an osmium crypto coin is what he's working on developing right now. I would love to see the completion of that, just to see it in action. I mean, that alone would be fun and interesting to me, just to see the coin moving. If or when he gets his going, and I'm assuming it's a when, less of an if and more of a when, I'm going to be putting into it just to play along, you know. So, and then I'll read the white paper, and depending on how the white paper looks, see how much money I want to put into it. But I'll be honest, it's going to be really difficult for me, having been collecting the tangible now for a while. It's going to make it. I just got out of crypto, I just got out of crypto and got out of all the stocks, and I've been moving real heavy in the tangibles market and trying to adjust for the times, I should say. So, crypto has a timetable. And I think the crypto timetable is crypto is going to keep doing crypto thing until the technology exceeds crypto's capabilities. There will come a point where, just like your old computer in the garage don't connect to the internet anymore, we're going to be entering that phase with crypto eventually. So, yeah. Now that is, Neil's got it right. That is going to be the real score with this crypto, is that it'll be a crypto that's actually backed by something. So, making use of modern technologies, yet applying traditional standards of true backing, and so that's a little bit rare in itself. Not a lot of cryptos are actually backed by something, and so that'll be really nice to see. Safira Johnson, am I saying that right, Safira? Good morning, Safira. Tony, good morning. P, good morning. Dude sounds like a conspiracy theorist to the max. Who, me? Yeah. Dude, every conspiracy theory is a theory until it's a fact. And then it's just conspiracy. And we all know conspiracy is real. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater now. Just because some people believe that governments and people can do no wrong. Hey, look, I like having faith in humanity too. I like assuming everybody's going to tell me the truth. I like assuming that everybody's got it 100% factually correct. However, history tells a different story. So, conspiracy theorist? Yeah. Conspiracy factualist? Yeah. Conspiracy minded? Probably. Artist Resin, good morning. Let's get some let's make sure you guys can communicate. And you look like you leave your house like you only leave your house for groceries. Dude, would you take this ugly mug outside? Nope. Yeah. I leave for groceries and I leave for guns. Every now and then I go to the bank, put in a little bit of USD just to, help me lose some value on my money. And that's about it. What's up, Jags fan? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Still working on wrenching. P, you somebody I know already and you're just giving me grief? Or are you just trolling, having some fun? I'm pretty understanding, feller. You could just be like, dude, I'm a troll. It's what I do. And I'll be like, all right, it's cool. Troll on, troll on. Yeah. So just for the record, P, all this trouble you're giving me, I don't mind. You should see the trouble I give myself. So, do your thing, buddy. Do your thing. You troll, you tease, you tell me what it is if you want to. I don't know. I got enough moderators in here. If you get out of line, somebody will straighten it out, I'm sure. But I'm not worried about you right now. So, yeah, for real. Neil, I don't scare easy. I don't have thick skin. I'm nothing but skin, bro. I'm leather skin. So, anyway, Jags fan, you're heading off to work, huh? Oh, just off work. Just off work. Very cool. What do you do, Jags fan, for work? And do you enjoy your work? A lot of people work just because they're good at it, but they don't like their work. Some people are really good at it. Some people really like the work, and they're not any good at it. Some people are really good at their work because they like it. And some people suck at their job because they hate it. Dude, I ain't afraid to admit it. I've had some jobs I just couldn't get my heart into and never really did a great job. And I left. And I did the ethical thing and I said, I can't do this. This isn't for me. I cannot gain productivity in something I don't believe in, et cetera, et cetera. But man, I've had some jobs I've been really good at. I am a professional driver and a CDL driver also. And so I am really good at driving. I'm really good at driving. Really good at driving. And I don't know. Everybody's like, oh, anybody can drive. And it's like, no, dude, there's a lot to professional driving that everything from transporting to chauffeuring to mechanical, mitigating issues, navigation. There's a lot that goes into professional driving, and so I'm really good at driving. I am a qualified, certified professional driver. not just a CDL driver. I am a professional driver. And so I really enjoy driving. And so when I drive, I do a really good job at it. And, but what I cannot tolerate is the industry behind professional driving. And so I walked away from professional driving. It's something I will come back to eventually, but right now I'm doing firefighting, wildland firefighting. I still apply the professional driving through that. I'm an equipment operator, and so uh, we got to transport equipment. We also got a few water tenders, which are water trucks. So in civilian industry, they're referred to as water trucks. In the oil field, they're transports. And in firefighting, they're tenders. So, um, CDL, damn phone. All right, what were you saying there, Jess? Don't need a license unless you're so true. Yeah, so true. Hey, Stella. Good morning. Hey, I sent you an email this morning. You just respond how it's written, or you can tell me in here how you feel. Yeah, Stella. Did you see the price of osmium today? That's what's on my mind. That's what got me going on this live this morning. I am like, holy smacks. So, yeah, I'm finding that this crystal osmium, it's going up so fast that by the time you arrange a sale, the price has already exceeded the price of the object has already the sell point price is being exceeded before payment for objects. So when I'm selling one of these little osmium crystals recently, I'm cutting them like on the line. I'm not making any money. I'm just trying to help everybody out, trying to get everybody going. But for real, the price of crystal osmium, I'm selling a piece, and by the time I get my payment, the crystal osmium is already worth more than what has been paid. I don't know how long I can sustain doing that, but I'm trying to smack them out and get everybody set up, with a little bit of benefit before we are absolutely priced out and sold out. I've been talking to one or two of my buddies about what's going on with the crystal osmium, and one of the things that we're considering is that, look, the end of crystallization, they'll have completed the crystallization they're projected to be by the end of December of 26, okay? If this stuff keeps flying off the shelf as it is, chances are, even though the crystallization process might be being completed in December of 26, there's a chance that if you're not on a waiting list for the crystallization process, like what I'm saying is it already might be bought up prior to the end of the crystallization process. Like pretty much like the last bit of this time might be spent on a waiting list. There are already a couple people that are waiting on pieces right now, and they're on a strict waiting list. It's happening. It is absolutely happening. And like, for example, whenever I started, I was picking up the 2 mil squares, okay? I was clearing micro shelves. Like, so within the 2 mil squares, they say prices from there's like your price points categories. There was a couple of us clearing shelves, and then all of a sudden 2 mil squares were sold out. Well, then when this 2 mil squares entered back into the market, they were at double the dang price. I don't know. I haven't checked today, but I don't know if you can still get a 2 mil square for 25 bucks, 30 bucks, 40 bucks, maybe. But it's going up fast. And so what I'm trying to do is get everybody on board and get everybody some tangibles in their hand before this goes crazy. Try to get everybody in on the primary market before the secondary market after the squeeze. It's going to happen. It's happening so freaking fast. Like, it's happening so fast that's part of why I got on this morning. I'm like, I can't keep up with this. Every time I come on, it's a brand new high. I mean, I could label every one of my lives Osmium new high, Osmium new high, Osmium new high. And it's just the beginning. So, let's see. We got 7 people in here. Let's get a quick check on our chat. And let me get an idea of who's in here to see who may or may not need caught up. If everybody in here's pretty caught up on Crystal Osmium, let me know. If somebody in here wants to get a quick refresher or catch up or download on Crystal Osmium, also let me know so that I can give you a quick brief on the metal. And then that way, as we're talking about it, you can feel caught up and like you're understanding everything. OTG, good morning, good morning. All right, Super, let me catch you up real quick, okay? So all y'all that are caught up, stand by for a second. Super, osmium is the 8th and final precious metal to enter the market, to have been discovered, refined, and been made marketable. But beyond simple osmium, because osmium in its raw form can be quite hazardous, okay? So in 2014, they released the results of their work of crystallizing osmium, and in 2014 they started selling crystallized osmium. Well, crystallized osmium is a bit different than the raw osmium. It's in a new form. It's in a crystal form, and in its crystal form, it is ultra safe. I mean, it's safe to handle, non-hazardous. In fact, it's not just non-hazardous, it's like really freaking safe, because it doesn't even start oxidizing until after 400 degrees Celsius. So it doesn't. It is the most noble of all your noble metals, meaning a noble metal, meaning it doesn't react with oxygen or water in a stable atmosphere, in our current atmosphere. And on top of that, it's ultra inert, meaning there's no acid, alkaline, hot or cold, that's going to affect crystal osmium. I think there's like 2 chemicals they use that can produce an oxidization effect on it, and that would be, I want to say, fluorine and chlorine. And I'm not so sure, because I've never seen anybody dash fluorine or chlorine on their crystal osmium. So I would say that's pretty safe, but I'm not even for sure about the chlorine, okay? Because I don't want to say you jump in your pool and your osmium is ruined, because it's just not the case. So let's hold off on the chlorine. I know that the fluorine is a thing, but I'm not exactly sure how these acids are used to affect the metal. But as it's advertised, it's no acid, no alkaline is going to affect it, hot or cold. On top of that, it's the most reflective substance on Earth. Every one of those crystal facets makes a perfect mirror. And one of the reasons for that is crystal osmium is the densest non-radioactive material. It's the densest stable element. Um, it's the rarest stable element. It's the most abrasive element. It's the most reflective element. Silver is no longer the most reflective thing on Earth. It's not. It's crystal osmium now. Um, it's resistance to compression. It is the most resistant to compression, meaning there is no other material you can work with that can resist compression more than crystal osmium. Um, wow, holy smacks. It is, crystal osmium is the purest metal on Earth. It's advertised at 5 nines fine. That's 99.9995 fine. That's what it's advertised at. But theoretical meaning we can't quite, we don't have the ability to test it to the degree I'm about to speak, but it's been hypothesized to be as much as 11 nines fine. That means 99.99s and a 5. Pure. I mean, y'all, that is 11 nines fine is crazy pure, guys. It's crazy pure. So what do we got here? We've got the least compressible material. We've got the most reflective material. We've got the most abrasive material. We've got the densest material. We've got the rarest material. Um, it's also the most secure metal you can possibly purchase. Um, it's, and what I mean by that is the verifiability of the metal you shop in. Okay. Um, all right, so it works like this. The crystal osmium, okay, when they form it, it's got all these little crystal formations on the surface, okay? Well, it's got 10,000 times more recognition points than your fingerprint per millimeter, per square millimeter. 10,000 times more recognition points than your fingerprint. Okay, so what that makes is an ultra verifiable metal. Meaning, when you buy this, one of they have a profile for every piece of this metal, where they take high resolution imagery, including topographic imagery, so they can literally tell you how tall the majority of these crystals are. Okay, they provide it on a little heat index scale for your, a red to blue scale for your heights. Um, but the point is that every piece is perfectly unique. So there is no other piece like it. So when you get your piece, if you want to confirm that that is in fact your piece, you can go to the imagery, look at the crystal formations, look at your piece and say, oh, that's definitely the piece. One of the other things that makes this ultra verifiable and non-replicable is that is that you is that so Osmium Institute, they make these pieces purposefully very thin. Okay, and what they're doing is they're eliminating core space. Okay, so what they're doing is they're making it thin enough that if you tried to put a core into it, like a tungsten or a gold core, to try to bring that density or up, to try to bring the weight of the piece up to closer to its density, um, there's just not enough room to put gold in there, much less enough gold to bring the weight up correctly. And even if you did manage to cram enough tungsten and gold in to your piece in that limited amount of space, your density would be off. Your piece would be twice the size. It would have to be twice the dango size of your original piece just to replicate the weight. You see, um, you know, crystal osmium is about twice the density of lead, if that gives you any idea, or tungsten, nearly twice the density of tungsten. It You cannot forge this stuff, guys. Between the density, the crystal structure, the serial code, the serial number that they give you, because every piece of crystal osmium also comes with a serial number, and it's called your osmium identification code. It's your OIC, okay? And what it is it's uh, an alphanumeric digit, okay? So, for example, D3 means diamond 3 millimeter diameter, okay? So it'll be first letter is the designation category of your osmium piece, meaning the shape, okay? The next number is going to be the size measurement of your piece, followed by 8 random digits, okay? 8 completely random digits, okay? And this is your OIC, okay? And every OIC, every piece that you get has an OIC. Well, on top of that, you're also issued an osmium change code, an OCC, okay? And what it is it's a lockout code. It's a 6-digit lockout code. So if you want to transfer the ownership or register the ownership, you can enter in your OCC, and then you can put in all the pertinent information. Say, hey, I own this. This is what state, phone number, email address, etc. is connected to this piece. And so if I sell you a piece of osmium, of crystal osmium, then one of the things you'll do is you'll provide me an email address, okay? And then when I transfer the ownership, you'll immediately receive an OCC, osmium change code, and that's your personal lockout code for the osmium. And so, I mean, honestly, guys, let's kind of go back to. Let me just express real quick what sold me on the crystal osmium. This was the end of the story for me. It didn't take much. Just a few key basics is all it took for me to invest in the crystal osmium. Everything after that was just bonus and benefit. But absolutely the verifiability of it sold me. So this is how the story goes for me, okay? Good morning, AAP, Mr. and Mrs. West, Artist Resin, Neil. We've got OTG. We've got Super. Hopefully you're still listening, Super. Stella, I would love to know if you're still in here, lady. Saying hi real quick. So, for those that know, I had Silvertown Mint. Silvertown Mint produced my silver round, okay? I produced a silver round, a Space Miner Channel round through Silvertown Mint. However, their process was less than preferable. And I just remember the entire time feeling like, oh my goodness, I hope I'm not getting ripped off. Oh my goodness, I hope I'm not getting ripped off. I hope I'm not getting ripped off. I hope this is real. And then I finally got the silver mailed to me. Oh my goodness, I have lost my lighter. Finally got the silver mailed to me. And you think that would solve my dilemma? No, I was still a little bit panic mode. Like, please be real silver. Please be real silver. Please be full silver. So the first thing I had to do was trash around, rip it apart, throw it over the XRF detector. I went to my local jeweler buddy, and we just started ripping apart rounds and testing random rounds to verify that, yes, it was in fact pure silver. But that stuck with me, and that stuck hard. And I'll never let that feeling go away. And so when crystal osmium came about, I was stoked about the OIC, the OCC, and the Osmium Institute, okay? Osmium Institute is well, let's face it, they've pretty much monopolized the crystallization of these pieces, in the sense that Osmium Institute is the only one selling Osmium Institute product, and you go through a strict vetting process to to participate in this. They vet people very strictly. And it's because they don't want pump and dumps. They don't want misinformation coming out. And they've put a lot of effort into building a trust system, a system that we can trust, a system that a consumer can trust, a system of accountability. So it's kind of broken into three parts. Okay, there's the crystallization facility, there's the actual institute themselves, and then there's the World Council. Okay, so the World Council, okay, is kind of delegating and managing some of these aspects. The Osmium Institute has got the process, the formats, the procedures, and then there's the crystallization facility, which is providing for the Institute. Now, all of this is the Osmium Institute, okay? And so there's the crystallization facility is not accommodating anybody else. There are other producers of crystallized osmium, but you're going to run into some problems. You go dealing with these other guys. JV, good morning. Nice to see you. Stella, I'll catch up on your email soon. Hopefully I didn't stress you out. So the point was to not stress you out. Where was I? Institute, verifiability. So the point is that it's ethical. The Institute has purposefully, very purposefully, and very diligently and ethically built this system to demonstrate their ethics. And so one of the ethical things they do is they guarantee an ethically produced product. That means they've tracked it from source to your hand. They've tracked it from source to your hand, this private entity, okay? It's a private entity, so it's not like all the governments are in your business. It's a private entity. And what they've done is they've verified the whole process, so you know that you have an ethically mined and produced metal, okay? That's what I was saying. There are other guys crystallizing, okay? And one of the things you could come up with, like, for example, tungsten crystals. What they're doing is somebody out there is crystallizing tungsten, heat treating it to create a little bit of blue, and then selling it to you. And that's a freaking problem. And you would never know. I mean, unless you've got like a really sincerely trained eye. And even then it would be, you know, like I know one guy that bought some, he thought he was buying crystal osmium, and he in fact bought crystal tungsten, and he had to get it chemically treated or chemically tested to verify his metal, and it turned out to be tungsten. And there's one or two of these metals that they're using. But really one of your first indicators is going to be that blue. Crystal osmium has a natural blue color, and it's fairly blue. It's pretty hard to replicate, you know. So when you heat treat it, if you can look for some like rainbow toning or something, that could help you do it. Or you can skip all that BS and you could just go straight to the Institute. Bam. Institute is the Osmium Institute is not threatened by any competitor, and how could they be? They've got too much money, too much resource, too much education, too much process involved. They're the kings of the subject. And so if you want it, and you want to make sure that you're getting it, and you want to make sure you're getting the highest quality of product, you're going to need to go through the Institute to do so. And so back to my trust issues. I'll never forget stressing the quality of my metal. And guys, it happens all the time to people, whether it's your gold, your platinum, your silver. People are getting ripped off every day. And it's so, unless it's like an uber trusted source, and I mean, even a trusted source could accidentally cycle some bad stuff. Like, let's say they get 1,000 silver rounds in, and they just go randomly testing them, and they pull 100 of them for random testing, and all 100 pass. There could still be 900 forgeries resting in their pile. Still could be. But one of the nice things about crystal osmium is you cannot forge it. If the Institute put that piece of metal for sale up on their menu, and you look at that picture, you're going to see all those tiny little crystal mountains, all those tiny little crystal formations. You're going to know it's the Institute. You're going to know it's that piece. You're going to buy that piece. And when you get that piece in the mail, it's as easy as look at it. Because look, crystal nucleization, the nucleation that forms crystals, the nucleation process that forms crystals, is one of the most difficult aspects to control. It's nucleation, the origin of the nucleation point is almost impossible to control. Okay, where your nucleation points, where your crystals are starting to grow, is pretty much random. Okay, and so if I gave you this, 10,000 crystal facets, and now you got to replicate this, you got to grow a crystal to look exactly like my crystal, up to 10,000 recognition points per square millimeter, you're going to have a little trouble forging that. You see what I mean? And then on top of that, on top of it, let's say you've got the most beautiful crystallization process in the whole world, okay? And you can, microscopically replicate a crystal, which is, I don't like using the word impossible, but it's nearly impossible, okay? You still got issues of the metal, because osmium carries some very secure attributes. One of the attributes we discussed earlier was the density of it. Being the most dense non-radioactive material, you're not going to be able to put a false core in it. We can start there. Next, osmium doesn't melt till post 4,000 degrees. It doesn't, and then to get it, to use it as a crystal, you need it in a gaseous form, okay? So what they do is they melt it, bring it up to a boil, which vaporizes it, and then they take that vapor, and it's the vapor that they grow their crystal with. Dude, it doesn't vaporize till right after 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit. 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which means your forgeries are going to be limited to people. The only people that can forge them are going to have the equipment to do so. Your average person doesn't have the ability to melt the osmium, much less boil and vaporize it. You see what I'm saying? And then you need to know, not only have the equipment, but have the education necessary to take said equipment, boil it into a vapor. Then you need to take this vapor and crystallize it. Well, there's like over 100 different aspects to crystallizing, to controlling this crystallization process that are considered. There are a lot of things to consider to crystallize a vapor, to crystallize this metal. And so again, so even if you had the ability, oh my goodness, you got to get a hold of the metal in the first place. Raw osmium, you can get a hold of smaller amounts, but to get any bulk amount worth using, okay, is going to cost you. and it's going to be difficult to acquire, depending on the legalities of your state or country. Okay. And then even if you get this, you still got to process it into it from the raw to the sponge, and then from the sponge into, you got to boil it, you got to vaporize it, then you got to take this vapor and then you got to crystallize it, and then you got to, and there's still contamination and purity issues at play in this too. Dude, the investment in an osmium sputtering disc alone is going to, for a decent sized sputtering disc necessary to sputter crystal osmium alone, is going to cost you well over $20,000 just for the disc. Not even counting all the equipment that's necessary, not counting all the education that's necessary, and then you would have to exceed beyond everything. You'd have to exceed the educational levels of everybody in the frickin' world to replicate a crystal. This is an unforgeable product. You cannot replicate it, making this the safest and most guaranteed purchase you can make in a precious metal. Even if you tried to simulate it with another metal, look, every metal has a different crystal structure, okay? So your crystals won't even look the same. They won't even look the same. They won't be the same angles, the sizes, the reflective qualities, the densities. I'll never forget that. So, if I want gold, I have to enter a less trusting market now. But at least the person who's trading their gold to me for crystal osmium is guaranteed a product. Guaranteed. You're guaranteed the quality of your product. You know, crystal osmium carries a lot of qualities, and a lot of attributes that I foresee in the future being indispensable qualities. As soon as the technology improves, where we need less material per project, I mean, rarity of osmium, it's not going to be the same issue. In fact, a lot of your medical and scientific equipments that are using osmium don't need very much of it at all, but they need it. You see? And in fact, Neil, you'll like this one. One of the more recent applications of osmium has gone into reflective coatings, because it's the most reflective material on Earth, right? And you don't need much. You don't need much to develop a mirrored layer, you see? And so right away, any reflective qualities, now the technology has come up where we don't need as much material, now they can use it for this. Just another beautiful example. I mean, guys, everybody knows about light bulb filaments and ball and pen tips, right? Look, we get it. You know, that's not real impressive use case to most people. But that's not where we're limited anymore, guys. We've got these in high temperature electronic tips and connections. They're used in a lot of high temperature applications. They're used in a lot of abrasive applications. It's used in a lot of reflective applications. I mean, just the osmium tetroxide is osmium tetroxide is actually very valuable in the scientific and medical field. One of the main things they use it for is biological stain, you know, and there's many other things they use it for. And in fact, the uses are increasing regularly. And so, look, if you want crystal osmium, right, and you just want to hold it for the long hold, down the road, as supplies are exhausted, there will be a necessity of having a pure metal. And as society progresses, so are our values. And so when the scientific industry increases and they say, hey, we're going to need this osmium more frequently, we're going to need more of this, we're going to need it more often, society is going to demand an ethical source for the osmium. Nobody wants the blood diamonds. Nobody wants blood diamonds. And that's one of the reasons that the cubic zirconias are oh my goodness. And that's one of the reasons, these fake diamonds are actually increasing in value, because people, want an ethical product. And so if you're the one holding the ethical product, it doesn't matter what the purpose is. If somebody wants it, you hold it now. Yeah, new tech is incoming every day. I'm loud. All right. So here's how Jess, one of the things, here, I'm not going to be an ass. There's a volume key. I am a loud person. Holy crap. You should hear me in person. My voice booms like I can yell loud if I wanted to yell. My voice alone is loud. Yo, brother. Demon's Net. Why aren't you in here as the Explorer? Yeah, I saw you called, but I'm on a live, buddy. I'm sorry. So, I don't even remember why I called you. I'll remember in a little bit. I'm sure it was important. My phone is loud. Oh, gotcha. No, I'm loud too. And apparently OTG as well. So, but yeah, where was I? Yeah, we're talking osmium. Yeah, I'm going to be talking a lot of osmium coming up in the future and coming up real soon. Got some stuff moving on the back burner, and very excited to let you in soon. But in the meantime, I'm just here trying to increase awareness. Transient, welcome in. Oh my goodness. So glad to see you. There you go. Get you wrenched up. Hopefully that worked. All right, I think that worked. Transient, we're talking vapor crystallized osmium today. I've been noticing that online. Hey, Space Miner, I came across your channel on BruckCloud. Oh, cool. Well, awesome. Nice to see another 505 in the house. Wait, are you 505 or are you 575? You the original OG? You original OG 505 or are you 575? Instincts say 575. My instinct says 575. Oh, 505? Whoop, whoop, Santa Fe. Awesome. Santa Fe is about to get hit by Space Miner with this crystal osmium. I've got a trip I'm going to be making there soon. I'm going to be making rounds to all the jewelry stores and all the coin shops. Except for one. There is one really rude jewelry store in Santa Fe. I mean, freaking rude. Holy smokes, they're rude. I think I even left a review up. I think I said something to the effect of like talking to a rude rock. I think what I may have put. It was like talking to a rude rock. Just ideas just went thump off the freaking head. Just arrogant and rude. Oh, I've got very little patience for arrogant, rude people. Space Miner might want to think about being an osmium distributor of New Mexico. Well, Neil, it's kind of what I was saying a minute ago. Oh yeah, which is why I called Demon's Net. dude, I was kind of like waiting for some paper, but just so you all know, I guess might as well just say it right here while I only got a few of you. Guys, I am going to be New Mexico State Institute. I mean, I am going to be. I am going to be the New Mexico State Institute per crystallized osmium. And so I'm super stoked about that. We're just kind of waiting for some stuff to go in the background. I've been kind of hesitant because, I wanted to confirm with everybody first. I really didn't want to be the dummy like, I'm going to be a state institute. And they're like, no, not that guy. No, it's going to happen, y'all. It's going to happen. It's in process. I've just been waiting on the right word to say go. And so it looks like pretty much I'm just short paper in line. And then, what I can do is I can start providing you guys massive deals. We can start shucking this out there, guys. That's what I'm so excited about. As soon as this state institute comes through, that means Space Miner can help you guys get this. Get it at a good, fair, solid price, primary market price. And try to keep you guys out of that secondary market for as long as possible. And so, Talca, good morning, welcome in, buddy. Good morning and welcome in. If y'all don't know Talca, go give him a visit. Dear friend from Chile. I'm telling you all, Talca's gonna find gold someday, buddy. Big gold. He's gonna find a treasure, and I just know it. Space Miner, no good place that makes customized osmium jewelry. Stella, I'm working with a guy and his store is Quality Jewelers in Los Lunas, New Mexico. I've been working with him. And so if you've got any jewelry ideas, send me like an image or a draft of what you'd like to see. Tell me the metal you want it in, silver, gold, platinum. Let me know the metal. Give me some kind of a draft of the shape and design you would like. And then I'll get a hold of Quality, and then we'll get you a price smacked out for it, and then we'll provide the osmium to set it. So, transient, you've never heard of osmium before. Okay, I'm going to go through this. You're a great person, so I'm going to go through this with you real quick. This is going to be a fast download, and then I'm going to ask you to go back into some of my previous videos and catch up down the road, okay? Osmium is the 8th and final precious metal. It is the most noble of the noble metals. It is a platinum metal. It is found alongside platinum, and it is ultra rare. How rare? It is the rarest non-radioactive element, okay? This is the rarest non-radioactive material. It is the densest non-radioactive. It's the most abrasive, it's the most reflective, it's the most value per density, it's easily the most beautiful metal on earth. It's the safest metal you can possibly purchase. It's the purest metal you could possibly purchase at 11.9's fine. It is it's got incredible attributes. It's let me step back. Some of the attributes is it's a paramagnetic, and it's a superconductor. So it's used in everything from nuclear facilities and nuclear testing to biological and medical equipment. It's been recently being used as reflective material to replace gold and silver as reflective materials and mylars and stuff like that. 11.9's, yeah, transit. It's been theorized to be 11.9's. We we don't have the ability to really test up to 11 nines, but everything they've tested up to is cleared. It's advertised at 5 nines fine. It's advertised at 5 nines fine as a base starting point, guaranteed 5 nines fine. But there are guys that, you know, have looked into this, and it's theorized up to 11 nines fine. It is the purest metal on earth. I mean, it's the purest, and a lot of that has to do with the production of it, you know, because it's produced. Okay, it goes from they melt it, they bring it up to a boil, and then they vaporize it, and then they take this vapor, and then they use the vapor to then, in a vacuum chamber, in an argon vacuum is primarily what's used, argon. Okay, to they then use sputtering, and then they sputter the target. Okay, they sputter an osmium target. Okay, and then that's how they grow this. Well, because of the purity of the environment, it creates a purity of metal, and it's unavoidable because you're dealing with it on an atomic level. You know, it's an elemental level that they're building the product on. And so 11 nines fine, theory, so fine. Say 5 nines fine. Say 5 nines. And dude, considering a lot of these buffaloes are coming in at 3 nines fine, you get some good Silvertown mint. Like my round is a 4 nines fine round. But to take it to 5 nines is just that next step. I mean, 5 nines is already crazy pure. That's medically pure. That's scientifically pure at 5 nines, you know. But to exceed that is just, you know, and one of the things is the verifiability of the metal. Stacking with Kraken, good morning. Let's get you a wrench up here too. Yeah, so I mean, it's crazy pure. It's crazy verifiable. I will never be had by gold again. I just won't do it. Why? Because I'm in Crystal Osmium now. I don't got to worry about that. I buy Osmium Institute Crystallized Osmium, and dang it, I know I'm getting the purest, rarest, most valuable metal on planet frickin' Earth. You know? And oh my goodness, is it beautiful and gorgeous. And look, guys, you know, I think there's a little bit of an issue going on here. People think osmium is like not really a thing going on out in the world. But let me let you guys know something. As stackers, as the stacking community, the metals investment community, osmium's not new, okay, per se. The crystal osmium is pretty new. It's pretty new. You know, Institute declared their product in 2014. You know, but guys, osmium is used all over the freaking place. Okay, so just because we haven't been dealing with it doesn't mean the world hasn't been dealing with it. It's just, you know, like scientific and medical equipment needs far less of a material to produce their equipment. Okay, it needs far less of the material than we do as stackers. Okay, and so like a lot of, like, guys, they've been doing the sputtering disc for a long time. You know, osmium's been selling, and now that we're involved, it's selling out, and it's selling out faster than F. Doug Stacks, good day, mate. What are you doing up at this time? Let's get you a wrench up there. Can you guys believe somebody criticized me the other day for having wrenches, and somehow I don't know how they reason it, but they're like, you must not like free speech, much all these wrenches. And I'm like, what are you talking about? If everybody's got a wrench, how the heck am I limiting anybody's speech? You know what I mean? I don't know. Can wrenches time out wrenches? You know, OTG, if you hate diamonds, You're gonna freaking love crystal osmium. It is far more brilliant and sparkly than any freaking diamond. So how sparkly and reflective is it? Not only is it the most reflective substance on Earth, it is almost pure reflection. It is such a dense and compact and uniform material in the crystal form that it is as close as you can get, to 100% pure reflection. Almost 100% pure reflection, zero refraction. And we all know that diamonds use refraction as their benefit, and this does not refract, this reflects. And it reflects far, depending on the size of your crystal. So like a sparkle 1 to a sparkle 5 is going to determine the amount of light returning back to your eye. And so a larger crystal is going to return more light to your eye, right? But it's coming back as, parallel linear light. It is bing pow, right back to you. And at, roughly 10,000 reflective points in a square millimeter. I mean, you'd have to really expand that view. You'd have to get in there pretty deep with a microscope to start seeing all the crystal formation, right? But I mean, your average piece, let's just do it the fun way, huh? Let all see y'all. Just so y'all can kind of get the idea a little stronger. D4 EFH. All right, let me see if you guys can. Oh, come on, you. Come on, you. Right there. All right, well, this is also the most difficult substance on Earth to video. So, all right, we'll just use those. All right, you see all those little dots of light? Oh my goodness, this is crazy. All right, ready? See it moving? Guys, on this sparkle 5, right here, diameter 4, sparkle 5, I mean, if I had to guess, in just this position alone, you probably have over 100 reflective points visible to your eye. Like, if I, just in this angle alone, if I started counting all the sparkles I see from this angle alone, okay, and I was really diligent and counted only what I could see with my eyes, maybe near 100 different sparkle points. And then I do this. Boop! There's 100 more. There's 100 more. Ready? 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy how many sparkle points there are. Yeah, I know, but I'm afraid to pull it out, man. Like at this angle here, I'll try. Which one is this? Not this one, because this is reserved for somebody. Here, let's do a diameter 5. Here you guys go. Oh my goodness. Give me a second. This is tough stuff to handle. A lot of raccoons with that, right? Yeah, I mean, it'd be the most expensive fishing bait in the world if you wanted to use it for fishing, but dang, could ya? All right. There we go. Oh, please don't drop this. Jeez. Oh my goodness, I just... Look how reflective